The Meshidia Foundation Media Institute brought together a group of experts and thought leaders during the program, with the aim of identifying evidence-based solutions that can help mitigate economic, financial, and social crises and humanity in Lebanon. In the report, 3 strategic areas are discussed, which include Asian geopolitical alliance, U.S. foreign policy, and Russian and Iranian influence. During a recent fireside talk, Ms. Barbara Leaf, United States Assistant Secretary of State for Near Eastern Affairs and an expert on Middle Eastern affairs, stated that the United States' position on the Lebanese presidential elections is that the parliament should elect a president as quickly as possible.
We do not have a candidate. We do not have a vote in this particular process. The mandate for selecting the next president was provided by the people of Lebanon to their elected representatives in the parliament. And not having a president means you don't have a fully empowered prime minister and a fully empowered cabinet. The whole process is locked.
She also clarified that the U.S. government does not have a preferred presidential candidate for the election.
The first thing I heard about when I arrived last night was the readout, the press conference, the readout that the IMF team had given the government and had given a number of embassies around town, and what they said publicly. And it was frankly not just sobering, it was kind of frightening.
Leaf further emphasized that there is no conflict between the U.S. and France on this issue and that the 2 countries are in constant coordination.
We talk regularly with our French colleagues, with many other countries, because we all share a common preoccupation with the crisis that Lebanon is going through. And we talk frankly with our French friends. Again, it's not for France, it's not for the U.S. to do the job here. It's rather for the parliament to do its job.
Additionally, Leaf revealed that the U.S. administration is supportive of the ongoing efforts to improve relations between Saudi Arabia and Iran due to its positive impact on the region, particularly in Lebanon.
A relaxation of tensions between Riyadh and Tehran. Look, anything that will de-escalate tensions in this very pressurized region, my government supports.
The United States is unlikely to lift the sanctions on Iran due to their involvement in the Ukrainian war. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states are expected to maintain their current stance towards Lebanon without providing significant assistance due to concerns over Hezbollah's influence.
And now, as much as some of us, including myself, would like to see a president that clearly respects international and UN resolutions and reinforces state authority, the simple reality in Lebanon is that it's going to have to be a compromised president.
I don't think we will see real Saudi engagement in Lebanon absent of tangibles and real, deliverables from whoever is the next prime minister.
I think the recommendation I would make is to stay the course in the demarcation of the borders of Lebanon, not only with Israel but also with Syria, so that you can stop the smuggling, you can stop the sort of milking the Lebanese people and their economy.
And I'll give a recommendation for the Gulf countries. They need to engage with Lebanon with persistence and patience, and understand that it is in their interest to rebuild the Lebanese state.
The U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East aims to counter Iran's influence and promote stability and security. This could result in continued support for the Lebanese armed forces and efforts to prevent Iranian influence and promote reforms in Lebanon.
Continue to educate, especially the newer members of this 118th Congress, about the importance of continued support for the Lebanese army. They have truly helped keep ISIS out of Lebanon and out of the region. They are friends of ours, the United States, in the fight against terrorism.
I think U.S. policymakers need to talk about the problem of Hezbollah and how it is essentially served as contributing to the country's security problems and poor governance that the Lebanese people have suffered.
There is an argument to be made that Hezbollah has not been able to push through its own candidate for president because it no longer has a majority in parliament.
We need structural reforms in the country. We need to address the key issues of the country. As I say, the economic situation needs to be reviewed and revisited to think of a different framework, to think of a different paradigm.
Russia and Iran have been enhancing their ties, especially in defense and energy, to counter U.S. influence and support the Assad regime in Syria. They are also working together in a full cooperation which could have implications for Lebanon, where they are promoting their influence through Hezbollah.
The United States needs to have an announced, carefully thought out policy to contest Iran in the region. As my friend Hannah said, this has to be a comprehensive region-wide policy.
That if you could bring about a change, political change in that country, not through an invasion or anything like that, but by supporting the Iranian people in ways to, essentially free themselves from a system that the majority of them do not want to live under. If you can do that, the ramifications for the Middle East would be great.
Lebanon, with Hezbollah, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, all of these countries are dominated by one Iranian policy, and the US should have a very similar approach to the region and look at these countries as having one big problem that has very similar consequences.